Hello everyone, welcome back to the next day and the next part of this cladding video. If you watched the last video, thank you very much. If you didn't, check it out, it's on my channel. I did put a few more boards on after my mind went blank. So we're back here. It hasn't rained, but it has been exceptionally cold. And the first problem I've got is basically all of where this boarding is nicely packaged up. Obviously it's held the water, and I can just see, look, that is just sheer solid ice on there. So not really going to be able to, it's not going to be great trying to work with that. So and it's due to stay freezing all day. So I think what I'm going to do, you might just be able to hear that humming sound. There's a heater going in that garage. So what I'm going to do is just put some of these boards in that garage, hopefully, and that will melt some of this ice off, and then we'll just have wet boards instead of frozen boards. So I'll get that done now. So I'm getting set up, so hopefully they're not all frozen. Maybe some of these others are less frozen I can get on, but there we go. Trials and tribulations of working in the British winter. Right, that's great. So these boards have been thawing out in that garage. You can hear that diesel heater whirring away there. So they're just a little bit wet, but at least they're not frozen. So as I said in the previous video, all I'm really doing now is I said these are all gauged out, and because these boards are very dimensionally accurate, I'm gauging to the top. It just makes it easier for me. You know, I don't have, because I'm on my own, I don't have to put pins in on the gauge line at the bottom to support the board while I nail it. I just put one on the gauge line there. I know I'm repeating myself. If you watched the earlier video, sorry about that. Just push the board up to there and then nail it. So I'm not going to film too much of it, me doing it, because it's simply a case of just taking that measurement, nailing it, taking that measurement, nailing it, and repeat. So I'm going to crack on and do that, and as we start to get to close to the top, we'll decide what I'm going to do with regards to this head detail. Tiny bit long. Better to trim a little bit off than have it short. Obviously I think, as I said in the earlier video, the bricks are in and out a bit on that end, so don't mind trimming a tiny bit off it to get it right. Oh, overly cautious today, little boy, come on. Measure once, cut 5 times. Oh yes. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, why do they go to the aggro and expense of getting expensive framing nails when I'm nailing it by hand, which I'm not getting the nail gun out because actually it gives a more sort of, when you put them in by hand, you can sort of more accurately sink them, especially in this featherboarding. If the nail gun's set slightly too deep, it pushes the nail in too deep, and what can actually happen is water can actually sort of sit in that recess caused by the nail being embedded and actually rot the board out. So yes, I probably could have got some sort of straight 2.5 inch, galvanised nails, but they would be not ring shank like these are. These do hold really well, and I quite like these. They're a small gauge, 3.6 I think mil gauge, and they've got this clipped head, so the head isn't too dominant. So yeah, probably seems a bit excessive, but whatever nails I don't use hand nailing this, I can obviously use for anything else. So that's my theory around that. Right, let's get on. Thought I'd just quickly mention how I go about nailing it. Obviously, these sort of boards, we want these boards to sort of try and move independently, shrinking and contracting. So when we put this nail in, we want to try and make sure, if we can, that the nail doesn't catch the top of the cladding behind it. So we just want to get those nails. It's usually sort of 25 to 30 mil. Although I will say, hopefully not to contradict myself, if it does catch the top of that one, I've never found, in my experience, that people will say that it could split and end up splitting down here. In my experience of doing this for many, many years, that isn't the case. But yeah, just a quick mention on, ideally what we're looking for when it comes to nailing. Okay, so I've had a cracking few hours and literally got my head down and got all of these main boards on, and I've cracked on a few steps ahead and sorted out this top detail. I'm just going to show you what I've done. So as I just wanted to quickly mention, I spoke about using a rod, and as you can see here, this is still my rod. Always handy, the rod never lies. What I needed to do is, obviously this course that's going on here, I have been working to the top of each course, but I needed to put this measurement, I needed to put where the bottom of the course was. Again, the beauty with the coursing stick, look, if I just, I'm going to see it there, look. So if you just put the coursing stick, let's get it there. So if you put the stick so it's, look, bang on the course, yes, that's on the bottom, look, then that gives me a place. You can just see there, I put my pencil mark across, and that can give me that measurement here. I'm now come up about nearly 20 mil up there, because we want, this is the bottom of the board obviously, and then I want a down, like it to hang down a little bit, and then maybe some 6 or 9 mil ply to go all the way back through here. So what I've done to facilitate that is simply screwed a batten on 25 mil up from that mark. Very, very careful when I was screwing this, because obviously there's only a sort of 70 mil sliver of blockwork above there, so really careful when I was drilling those. Made sure that the plugs were turned the right way, so it expanded sort of side to side, not up and down. So fix those in, and then again, because I don't want to be hammering anything onto that, I've then screwed this little bit of fillets. Simply a case of it's the same width from the face of the blockwork there, plus see this little overhang, the top edge of this board here. So I've ripped that on the table saw, and also have set, there's a slight angle. It's about what is it there? About 6 or 7 degrees. So that runs in there nicely. So you see, when we now put this top board in, which will hang down to here, it's going to fit lovely. So yeah, that's really, it's quite simple really, but it's going to make a lovely job. I say that gives something nice to this, for this board to fix to. And then again, when we put I think I'll put like a soffit piece in here, and then we put these soldier pieces down here to close it all in. So what is the only other thing I perhaps might have to think about is, obviously when you look on the side here, you'll see that this board, the back of this board, touches obviously the top of the board below here, and the where's my finger there, the batten right up here. Well, obviously this board here is going to be much smaller, look. So potentially, if you can see where my finger is there, look, potentially, I mean, I know you might think I'm splitting hairs, but that board will be kicked back a bit more. I mean, it might not. That's got a slight curl on it, that one, hasn't it? But perhaps they all have. But yeah, maybe I'm being a bit fussy. But you get the theory is that, again, if I just gauge it, my fingers come down there. The theory is, look, that technically the back of the board, there should be something at the top there just to bridge that gap. But I'll put it on. If it doesn't look like the board's, kicked too far back, I'll probably just leave it. But that's it. Oh, just have a quick look at this end. I didn't turn the camera on because I had my head down, but just sort of scribed it neatly over here. Left, obviously, I haven't scribed this tight down onto there because obviously any water hits there, I don't want it to suck up. Same with the top, across the top of this brickwork here. I would have rather this finished here, but unfortunately the bricklayers didn't bring the reclaimed facework round far enough, but I still think it will look super neat and tidy. So a couple of things now really, we're sort of getting there. I'm now just going to cut, rip down and put this top strip in, and then it's just a case of getting these 4x1s which are going to close in these edge reveals here, and some sort of ply, or maybe go to my local builders merchants, see if they could rip me down something. I know it's only a second since the first part of this video, but it's actually been weeks since I did that first part of this video. But anyway, now I'm finally back to get these bits and bobs finished. I think the SD card actually ran out, that's why that ended abruptly. But anyway, it's nearly done, and I'm going to just quickly talk you through the bits and bobs that I've done in between the first part of the video and now. So let's turn around and have a look here. So as I said, all of these boards are on now. This top board, obviously, I ripped it down, as I said. As you can see, there's a sort of, we talked about air gap. Obviously, we've got that, got the vent at the bottom. I haven't put a vent at the top, but there's like a sort of 5mm gap there. Really not concerned about airflow behind these boards, because, just if I zoom that in, because these boards aren't airtight in any way, shape or form. So, not worried about airflow. What I ended up doing on the head here, obviously fix this bit through, as I said. What I ended up doing on the head here was I went to my local Eurocell and actually picked, this is black or ebony soffit board. I think it was 110mm wide. So all I basically did there was rip that down and pinned it on. I put some silicon mastic behind it there to hold it there, and just these, you can't actually see, but they're not actually black pins, they're anthracite ones that I had. I didn't want to buy a whole box of black pins for a couple of dozen pins, but so that looks really good there. And as you can see, look, you know, that's, sorry, I'm waffling on it, that's fitted in there well. Now, in terms of the cheeks here, basically all these is a 4x1 that I've you know, notched at the top, and I've notched it down at the bottom. I've left it up a couple of mil at the bottom there, obviously, because I don't want any water to be sucking up. I fixed all of those. I've just got this last one, which I'm just going to quickly talk to you about. In terms of cutting the bottom of here, basically you can see all I really did, because I've got a bit of hardboard, and I just made a pattern there. Obviously, I said I'm holding it up a couple of mil. Made a pattern there, and I can just reverse it, and that is what I use to cut this bottom end here. The other thing I've done is, as you can see here, look, I've siliconed round the back here, obviously just to seal all that up. Did the same as the top, as I said. Same detail here as the other one. Obviously, that bit of UPVC soffit board in there. And the other thing I've done on this one is, if you can see on the back here, I've just chamfered the back corner off so that it doesn't get bound up on that silicone there. So yeah, that's it really. This is Saddlein classic ebony stain. It's really good, oil based, really hard wearing, and I won't use anything else now. So what I've done here, as you can see, is I've marked out where these nails are going and quickly started them, because it just makes it easier. And what I'm looking to do, it's about every 350mm. I'll come down 100mm from the top, and I think we're about 55mm in from the door, and that's the fixing line of where my pins are going to go. So literally, that's all I've got to do. Just that last one now. I showed you here. As you can see, we've got a bit of, you can see, look, there's a bit of shrinkage, so we've got a bit more of a gap there. Little soldier piece on the end there, and actually we've got the same, as you can see here, look, this one's nice and neat. We've got the same on this one, nice little end cap on there, just close it off a treat. So let's just get that last one pinned on. Here we go. Just be careful now I don't hit this door with my hammer. Should be alright. Right, here we go. Oh, look at that, fits a treat. Ah, there we go. That is absolutely lovely. Really nice and tight. As I said, tiny bit of shrinkage, but you know, it's pretty good down there. Obviously these boards have shrunk a tiny bit, and interestingly, I said about having no joins. The only join that we did have, as you can see, there's a full length, 4.8 metre length to here and a 4.8 metre length to there. Look, this is the only join we did have, and look, you see a little bit of shrinkage in there. So I suppose, although they were nicely wrapped, being completely encased in plastic obviously made them swell up. So yeah, really happy about that. Let's stand back and have a little look at it. Here we go. Yeah, so you know, that looks sort of super neat now across that back end, really good. I fitted the downpipe obviously, and now there's just some electrical work in the lights to do. So you can see obviously all of the nail heads, you can see clearly. But again, what we'll do is get the decorator back. What he'll do is just daub them in with a little brush and then give the whole thing, because that's only a sort of base coat, give the whole thing a flying coat, and that'll look absolutely brilliant. So there you go. That's this job done. It looks a treat. I'm really, really happy. First part of it, I don't know what was happening. Maybe the wind was in the wrong direction. But anyway, there you go. That's that cladding done. I hope you've sort of found it interesting. There's some nice little details in there. Again, being, as I said many times, being a natural material, this cladding will sort of move around, and some of those gaps might open up a little bit. They might close up a little bit, but you know, that is unfortunately what happens when you're working with wood. But there you go. As I've said, I hope you found it interesting, and thanks for watching, and hopefully got some more videos coming on my channel soon.